So let's talk about the engine that can automate your entire software development lifecycle. And the best part? It's probably already sitting right there in your codebase. We're diving into the world of GitHub Actions.
Okay, so you've just written some amazing code. Now what? Are you going to manually run all the tests, manually build the container, and then what? Manually deploy it to your server? Every single one of those steps is an opportunity for something to go wrong, and honestly, it's just a massive waste of time.
But what if I told you there's a much, much better way? Imagine a super powerful automation system that you don't have to bolt on or integrate from some third party because it's already built right into the place your code already lives, your GitHub repository.
And that, right there, is where GitHub Actions comes in. Seriously, you should think of it as your repository's very own dedicated automation engine, just waiting to spring to life at a moment's notice.
So, what is it exactly? Well, at its core, GitHub Actions is a platform for CI/CD. Continuous integration and continuous deployment. Think of it as automatically building and testing your code every time you push, and then maybe even deploying it if everything passes. It lets you write really simple instructions to automate pretty much any task you can think of, right from inside your repo.
Before Actions, a lot of us had to rely on external tools like Jenkins or Travis CI, and that usually meant complicated setups, managing totally separate servers, and constantly jumping back and forth between different websites. With GitHub Actions, all that complexity, it just kind of melts away. It's native, it's integrated, it's just seamless.
So let's break down the real benefits here. First, and this is huge, it's native to GitHub. It's also event-driven, which means a workflow can be triggered by anything that happens on GitHub. A push, a pull request, someone creating a new issue, you name it. It's also incredibly flexible for any programming language. And thanks to this huge marketplace of reusable actions, you almost never have to start from scratch.
Oh, and let's talk about the cost, because for public repositories, GitHub gives you 2,000 free build minutes every single month. That is a ton of automation power, completely free of charge, which makes it a total no-brainer for any open source project.
All right, so that all sounds pretty great, but how does this thing actually work under the hood? It might seem a little complex at first, but we can break it all down with a really simple analogy.
Just imagine that your repository has its own automated crew. This crew is on standby 24/7, just waiting for a signal to jump into action and follow a very, very specific set of instructions you've given them.
Okay, so let's see how this crew operates. First, you've got the signal, which is an event, like a code push. This signal tells the crew to open their playbook, which is the workflow YAML file you wrote. This playbook outlines one or more specialist teams or jobs, like a build team or a test team. Each team then follows a list of individual tasks, which we call steps, things like checking out the code or running tests. And where does all this work happen? It happens in the workshop, which is a virtual machine called a runner. So, signal, playbook, team, tasks, and workshop. See, it's a really clear logical flow.
And you get a choice of workshops too. You can use GitHub's own hosted runners, which are fresh virtual machines on Ubuntu, Windows, or macOS that they manage for you. Or, if you need way more control or maybe access to your own private network, you can set up self-hosted runners on your own machines.
All right, theory is great, but let's make this way more concrete with a practical example. We're going to see how all these concepts translate into a real workflow file that can build, test, and maybe even deploy your code.
It all begins right here. Inside your repository, you just create a special directory called .github/workflows. Any YAML file you put in here is automatically picked up by GitHub and becomes an active workflow. It's that simple.
So every workflow file has to start with a trigger. This line right here, on, push, pull request, well, that's the signal we were just talking about. It tells our automated crew, hey, get to work whenever someone pushes new code or opens a pull request.
Next up, you define the specialist team, which is the job. So here, we've created a job called build, and then we've told it which workshop to use with runs on Ubuntu latest. This means our build job is going to run on a brand new Ubuntu virtual machine that GitHub provides.
And finally, here are the individual tasks, the steps. Now that first line, that's where the real magic happens. Uses actions/checkout at v3. Instead of writing your own script to get your code, you just use a pre-built action from the marketplace that the community trusts. After that, you can run whatever command line scripts you want, like npm install and npm test. It's simple, it's powerful, and it's so easy to read.
And speaking of that uses keyword, that little thing taps into the absolutely massive GitHub Actions marketplace. We're talking thousands of pre-built actions made by the community, by cloud providers like AWS and Google, and by GitHub itself. Do you need to deploy to the cloud? Send a Slack notification? Yeah, there's an action for that.
Okay, now for one of the most powerful features, the matrix strategy. Let's say you want to test your code on multiple versions of Node.js, and you need to do it on both Ubuntu and Windows. Instead of writing 4 separate, nearly identical jobs, you just define this simple matrix. GitHub Actions then automatically creates and runs a job for every single combination, all at the same time. It is an absolute game changer for making sure your code works everywhere.
Now, of course, with all this power comes responsibility. Security is so important. First, always store sensitive stuff like API keys and GitHub secrets. Never, ever put them in your code. Second, give your workflows only the permissions they absolutely need and nothing more. And finally, always pin your action versions, like you see here with the @v3. This stops a surprise update from a third-party action from breaking your entire build. Seriously, taking these steps is crucial for keeping your automation safe.
So, when you step back and you put all of this together, what does it really mean? Well, we're looking at a pretty fundamental shift in how software actually gets made and delivered.
This quote just nails it. GitHub isn't just a place to store your code anymore. With Actions, it's become this complete platform where you can manage the entire DevOps lifecycle, from a single commit all the way through testing and secure deployment, all in one place.
And look, this isn't just for small side projects. Massive organizations are all in on this. We're talking about Shopify managing deployments for its entire e-commerce platform, or even NASA making sure its systems are constantly tested and updated, all of it powered by Actions. This is a tool that was built for mission-critical automation at any scale you can imagine.
So what's the big takeaway here? Automation isn't some optional extra these days. It's the core engine of modern software development. And since your code already lives on GitHub, this incredibly powerful engine is just sitting there waiting for you to turn the key. The only question left is, what are you going to automate first?